What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. I hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. So I was watching Stephen A. Smith's show. You know, he got his own podcast. And he was discussing the speculation about Skip Bayless possibly making a return to ESPN after we heard news that he is leaving FS1 Undisputed. He's leaving the show. He's leaving Fox Sports altogether, right? And so Stephen A. Smith brought up the fact that ESPN released a statement surrounding the speculation that Skip Bayless could be returning to ESPN. ESPN said this: we are set with the current first take rotation, and we wish Skip the best on his future endeavors. We are set with the current first take rotation, and we wish Skip the best on his future endeavors. Skip Bayless has burnt too many bridges, in my opinion. A lot of places he's went, he's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way with how he can be. Although I think he's great at television, I think he's great. He's the godfather of the sports debate shows, without question, with Sports with Cold Pizza initially when he had Woody Page and Two Live Stews on. I believe he's had a hard time getting over with the younger generation, you know. And as time has progressed, as he's gotten older, he hasn't done himself any favors with burning bridges and the way he's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way in places he's went, with certain things he's done and how he's come across with people. When he left ESPN, the way I saw people like Scott Van Pelt and other people talk about Skip, you can tell they did not really care for Skip like that at all. Like the way I saw them come out and say certain things, I'm like, damn, they do not fool with him at all. Like, not even closely. Stephen A. Smith had the most love for him in ESPN, I believe. You know? And so now I think they like, I think he burnt a lot of bridges with people over there, and he like, it ain't happening. You know? Because I remember at first, I believe when Skip was on Undisputed, there were rumors that he was almost about to leave Undisputed when him and Shannon was on. But Undisputed FS1 came up with the bag to get him to stay. But yeah, I think, he's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And you always have to be very careful when you're at an establishment, how you leave, the way you leave, the impression you leave on other people. I'm not saying be a brown noser, kiss nobody, but you got to remember how you treat people, how you interact with them, and how they can come back to bite you at some point. I don't know how Skip was treating people in particular, but I do believe he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way with some of his antics or some things he said, or how he's come across with other people. Furthermore, at first I thought ESPN would be all in on bringing Skip back because the viewership count would be high if you put Skip across the table from Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe, right? In particular, due to the fact that Shannon and Skip left on a sour note. You know what I mean? And people want to see Skip and Shannon interacting once again. I'm sorry. Man, throat a little raspy or whatever. But anyway, yeah. I thought people would really want to see. I still believe people would want to see that. But I think ESPN is prioritizing the comfortability of Shannon Sharpe over everything. They like what's been set for them right now. They just gave Shannon a new deal. Shannon going to be on ESPN First Take a lot more than he has been, probably more than just 2 days a week. And they like what they got going on. And they don't want to mess that up. They don't want to throw a monkey wrench in the situation. They don't want to, put the wrong stuff into an already great ingredient. You know what I mean? They don't want to mess up a recipe. And so they like, we don't need to add Skip because he might throw off the chemistry with Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith. He might make the situation a little bit more comfortable. He might make Shannon Sharpe, he might piss Shannon Sharpe off again. And it may be a repeat of what happened before. And they don't want to risk losing Shannon Sharpe right now. Especially while Shannon's hot. Shannon the hottest thing, not even just on sports TV, on YouTube. One of the hottest interviews on YouTube. It started off with the Cat Williams interview. He had great interviews before then. But Cat Williams interview propelled him into another domain. Right? He got Club Shay Shay. He got Nightcap. He got ESPN First Take. He going to different places doing interviews with people. Every time Shannon Sharpe is on something, he driving in revenue. And they recognize that. They like that Shannon he seems very happy at ESPN. he seems a lot more endearing to Stephen A than he ever was with Skip at times. And I think they don't want to mess that up. We like, yo, we got him happy. He comfortable. He feels like this is at home. We want to keep this a place that's home for him. Bringing in somebody who he had issues with. Now, although Skip put Shannon in position, he vouched for Shannon to get that job at FS1 Undisputed, for sure. He put him in position. Shannon is a great personality of his own with his great anecdotes, his great analogies, stories from his grandmother, his grandfather, his experience being a Hall of Fame football player, his experience being a professional athlete, period. He has great knowledge about other sports, not just football, basketball. He can talk some baseball, talk some boxing. You know what I mean? He can provide social commentary. They like what he brings to the table. And so I think they don't want to risk losing Shannon Sharp by bringing in Skip. They don't want to risk throwing off their chemistry. And I do believe Skip has rubbed people the wrong way at certain places he's went. And so I'm wondering what could be next for Skip. I'm not sure. Maybe he go to one of these other networks. I don't know, CBS. I don't know if he go to I don't know where he could go. I really don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see where he goes from here. But Stephen A. Smith sounded like he said his time sitting across from Stephen A. I'm stuttering. Godly. Stephen A. Smith said his time sitting across from Skip Bayless has come to an end. He said it's come to an end. It's over with. It ended way back then. He said he's moved on from that point. And he believes their time has come and gone. He likes the chemistry he got with Shannon Sharp. He liked the energy Shannon Sharp brings. It's new, it's refreshing. It's something dope for him. He enjoys working with Shannon. I believe he enjoys working with Shannon Sharp more than he's enjoyed working with a lot of other people. Max Kellerman and even Skip Bayless to a degree. Him and Shannon and Stephen A. kick it outside of work. You could tell. They talk to each other outside of the job. They got a great friendship. And he yo, I like this whole dynamic we got going on. I ain't trying to mess that up. We keeping it where it is. And can you blame them? They've been number one for a long time. Stephen A. Smith always going to remind you they number one and been number one. And they going to stay that way. Skip has struggled to relate to the younger generation. When Shannon was off that show, man, the show took a deep dive. Keyshawn Johnson, Michael Irvin, Richard Sherman were not interesting enough to keep people enamored with that show. The back and forth banter with Skip and Shannon was always entertaining. You couldn't wait to watch the show. I don't know anybody who watches Undisputed for real anymore. I don't know anybody who does. And so at this point, Skip is at a crossroads in his career, but I'm sure he'll figure something out. I'm sure he'll figure something out for sure. I'm sure he will. But yeah, he couldn't. Then they brought in Paul Pierce on the show. That was a great addition to the show, but it still wasn't enough to make up for them low ratings they've been having. And so network TV is all about ratings. It's about entertainment. This is why they have all these hypotheticals on these sports shows, all of these dream scenarios and all of these hot takes, because everybody likes to be entertained. We like to see people debating back and forth with jokes, having comedy. We like to see those type of interactions. And Skip's show hasn't been entertaining enough. They brought in Bubba Dub and Drewski. When you bring in YouTube and Instagram comedians, social media influencers, you can tell you're trying to sell the public, sell the younger generation on your show. You're trying to appeal to them. You're trying to keep the show as entertaining as possible, and it still didn't work. So yeah, man. ESPN say they don't want Skip. They cool with what they got right now. Or maybe they saying Skip don't need to be at First Take. I don't know. Maybe Skip can go somewhere else. Who knows? Because they said they are set with the current First Take rotation, but they also said we wish Skip the best on his future endeavors. Never mind. That means we don't want you over here at all. We wish you the best on your future endeavors. Ta-ta for now. We hope you be all right out here. We hope everything go well for you, but you're not going to be over here. That's what they saying. Machiavelli Mills TV, y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this subject in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm out. Peace.